I don't feel optimistic about the future of U.S.-China relations. I feel that we need to see how things develop. We had a very good and productive meeting in California. Can we now sustain that engagement? Can we meet our commitments to each other? And so far, the Chinese have met their commitments on fentanyl, and I think will in terms of our military-to-military contacts. But let's see that happen over time, because I've lived the past, the roller coaster past, where communication is cut off and then put back on again. So I wouldn't say I'm optimistic. I'm careful about this, maybe realistic, hopeful, if you will. But hopeful is different than being optimistic. There's no question that China has an authoritarian system. And there's a centralization of power, even over the last decade or so. That's quite noticeable, different than 20 or 30 or 40 years ago. And so, frankly, in conversations with people outside the government, or just in reading the press in China, the state-controlled press, you don't see a lot of, you don't see a multiplicity of views. What I can talk about in a quite forthright way is how often our country is distorted in the media, the nature of our society, the struggles that we have here in our country, what we believe or don't believe, often distorted. So frankly, one of the major preoccupations of our mission, working with my very, very skilled colleagues in the public diplomacy realm, is to try to tell the truth about American society, American history, U.S.-China relations to the Chinese people. And so it's kind of a cat and mouse game sometimes. I'll give you an example. We put Secretary Blinken's speech, this is May of 2022, the big speech, Invest, Align, Compete on U.S.-China relations. We put it out on Weibo and WeChat and on Twitter. We have 1.2 million followers in our embassy Twitter account to the Chinese-speaking world. And within 2 hours, it had been censored, taken down. We put it back a day later under a different title, and it survived about 20 minutes. But, you know, it's interesting. Given the scale of the netizen community in China, if you got it out there for 22 hours or even 20 minutes, you've got millions of people looking at it. We considered that a success. We're all about the free exchange of ideas in our society. That's what America is. And we want the Chinese people to have a full and accurate picture of our society and not to see it distorted. And, you know, I have been, and my colleagues have been dismayed by sometimes what we hear at the daily briefing in the foreign ministry. Outright distortion of our country, of our values, of our people, and of our policy. So part of what we have to do there is to defend our society and give people an accurate view of it. We take that very seriously.